Hi guys, my name is Sabrina from The Power Within Us, and we are here today with our newest member of the team, Eddie.
Hello.
And we are going to talk about a very interesting topic. We're going to speak about aliens.
So I have a few questions for Sabrina because I know you've had some experiences with aliens.
Yep.
So firstly, I wanted to ask you: have you ever seen a UFO?
Yeah, I have. When I was a child in Brazil, I saw this triangular shaped kind of UFO, and it was kind of like flying around and doing all these things, and it was kind of bluish, and I freaked out. I knew for sure it was a UFO. It was. I just went to my dad to kind of tell him because he was the only one at home. So I was like, Dad, I've seen it. Come, there is a UFO. I can see it. And then, unfortunately, when he came, it was already gone. But on the next day, on the news, all over the news in the city where we lived in Brazil, in Florianopolis, they were saying a lot of people have seen it and they had images of it. So they obviously said, "Oh, we don't know what it was. It was an unidentifiable object, so flying object." So they couldn't really tell, but I knew it was. I mean, I've seen some other ones or some other lights that I thought could have been, but I've never been so sure. Like in that one, I knew for sure it was something. And but yeah, up until then, I didn't really know much about this kind of energy.
Right. So even if you were a child, you still you knew that they were extraterrestrial. I found that really interesting.
Mm.
Yeah. So another question. So basically, do you believe in aliens, right?
Well, yes. I mean, since I was a kid, I've always sort of believed in them because logically, if you can't be in a universe, we can't be the only like living beings. It's really silly. That's how I always felt that, and I always been kind of a little scared about aliens, and I was like, oh my god, they might come and take me or do something.
Right, that's from the TV and the programs, movies.
Exactly, yeah. But I always kind of knew they existed, but I didn't really have any experience with them up until recently, when I sort of actually saw alien beings and I communicated with them, and I actually had my own perspective on what they are, and what they're here to do and what they want to do and things like that.
Can you tell us more about that experience? Like, how did you feel when you connected with that alien?
Okay, sure. It was all very intense. That's the best word to describe, because first when you come across something like that, you don't know what to do with it. You're thinking, oh my god, I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. What is this? And then you start having these thoughts in your head and these weird transmissions, and you don't really know
what to do with them.
What to do with them, exactly. But you don't know if they are good or bad, and then you freak out a little. So it was quite hard for me to just relax and to just understand, okay, it's fine, and be open to it and see what they wanted to bring in terms of vibration or messages or healing. So basically, one of the very first times, it was a very telepathic connection. They came. I was walking on the street in Covent Garden, and I felt like there was this beam of light coming straight to my head and then talking to me, and then I kind of like had an image of these alien beings in the back of my head, so it was like a two-way communication. And then I was like, oh, hi, hello, and they were talking to me, oh, we want to talk to you, we're gonna do some work with you. They were very friendly, and so it was really funny because I was like, this is not happening. Okay, fine.
Right, you did that.
Yeah,
that's the first reaction.
I was happy with it because during my healing sessions, I had a lot of meditative states where I was then taken to a spaceship.
Right.
And then they were pouring light into me. They were helping me to get rid of a lot of old energies that shouldn't be there. So during healing sessions, that was happening. But it's not the same as when you're walking on the street and then you're getting crystal clear messages in your head. And then I had this other experience, which was, you know, like talking to you right now, seeing you, this being that was kind of like green light, big head, big eyes, and it kind of like just popped out in the window of my bedroom, and it's just like, hi, can I come in? I need to like do some healing on you, kind of like that. Not with this voice, because they communicate telepathically. And I was so like zen that I said, yeah, why not? Sure, come in and do it. And I knew I felt it was safe, and I felt it was fine. And then I just saw this thing coming towards me, and then I was, you know, out of consciousness, out and in and out actually, and then I just got teleported mentally, not physically, I don't think so, but just
multidimensionally, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to this other place, and they were putting a lot of light in my body, and it was funny because I could feel my body like stretching, and this light pouring in, and I was like this, and it was really a little weird because I had my mouth open and the light was pouring in, and my arms were like that. So actually, when I came back, I was like this. I was like, okay.
That's funny.
But it was so intense and so clear, so real, and it hasn't happened after that again, like with that clarity. But that's when I realized more about aliens and, you know, that work with us, with humans.
Right. So basically, do you feel that, and do you think that they're here, like the extraterrestrials are here assisting our evolution and ascension?
Definitely. I think they have a good part to play in Earth with us, in the ascension of the planet, so we can finally become, you know, part of the intergalactical. You know, I know it's all sci-fi stuff, and I don't know much about that, but I definitely think they are here to assist, and there is a lot of misconception around them, and they are already here, and a lot of people know about it. So more and more, I think it will be clear that what their mission is and how they're gonna work alongside Earth and humans,
and for how long they've been working alongside humans and assisting us.
Exactly, they have definitely many years, thousands of years. Yes,
absolutely. So how do you feel about people saying that there are non-benevolent beings, extraterrestrials, trying to mess with our evolution and ascension?
You mean like the reptilians?
Right, the Greys.
Yeah, the Greys. I'm not really sure about that. I don't feel is the case. I think humans like to attach their emotions and the negative emotions to everything. So anything that they are not familiar with, anything that is not part of the day-to-day, they will freak out, and they will create these fears, and they will attach to things when it might not be the case. You know, like it's a completely human side of it to do that. I don't think that's the case.
Exactly. And even if it was so, we still have free will. As humans, we have free will, so it's not possible for other beings to mess with our evolution if we don't allow it.
Mm-hmm.
So if we allow it, it means, in the past, if we allowed it, it means it was for a purpose, a reason, and there was a lot of growth around that. So I'm down to my last question. Are you familiar with the theory that we as humans have DNA from extraterrestrial DNA?
Well, yeah, I am just learning about this kind of things now, so it's all very new to me, and I know for you as well, with you being like working with that. So I do really believe in that, and I'm just finding out our ancestral connections and DNA evolutions, and how the next stages are going to be. So it's definitely something we should explore more, and maybe even do some articles about it. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, there were many researches done around this subject, and they were talking about junk DNA. So basically, we're just now discovering the whole thing.
Exactly.
But yeah, we're getting there. So I'm done with all my questions.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for joining
Thank you.
the team and assisting with the questions. So thank you guys for
you.
watching.